In this video, it's all about teams. We'll cover the 5 main types of teams, the different ways team members depend on each other, what makes up an effective team, the role of diversity in teams, and how certain characteristics influence team effectiveness. First, let's talk about the 5 main types of teams. There are 5 key types of teams, each designed to achieve different goals. First are work teams. These are the teams we see most often. Their job is to deliver day-to-day work. For example, a marketing team working together on campaigns, or a manufacturing team producing goods. Next are management teams. These teams oversee multiple departments and are responsible for setting organizational goals. Think of them as the leaders who align different parts of the business with the company's overarching strategy. Next are parallel teams. These are temporary teams formed to tackle a specific problem or create recommendations outside of the normal workflow. A great example is a task force set up to improve employee morale. Project teams. These teams are formed to complete a specific project and then disband once it's finished. For instance, a team might be designed to create and launch a new product, but once that product is launched, the team is disbanded. And finally, action teams. Action teams are formed for urgent high-pressure situations, such as a medical team in an operating room, or a team of firefighters responding to an emergency. Next, let's talk about types of team interdependence. Interdependence in teams refers to how team members rely on each other to complete their tasks. There are 4 main types of interdependence. First is pooled interdependence. With pooled interdependence, each member of the team works independently, but all of their work comes together to achieve a shared goal. For example, each salesperson on a sales team has individual targets, but their combined sales determine the company's overall performance. The next type is sequential interdependence. In this type, one member's output is another member's input. Think of an assembly line where the work of one person directly affects the next in line and then the next and so on and so forth. The next type is reciprocal interdependence. Team members work together and exchange inputs and outputs, depending on one another throughout the process. For example, a hotel's reception team and housekeeping team, they work closely together, sharing updates to provide the best hotel guest experience possible. And finally, comprehensive interdependence. This is the highest level of interdependence, where all members of a team are super tightly integrated and they have to collaborate through the task. Everyone relies on everyone else, like in a tech startup where developers, designers, and marketers, they all have to collaborate together as a product launches. Now let's identify factors involved in team composition. Team composition is all about who makes up the team. And there are several factors that can affect how well the team performs. One is member roles. Each team member has a specific task or roles, and making sure these roles are clear helps prevent confusion and overlap. Next is member ability. The skills and abilities of team members are essential. Highly skilled team members can improve team performance, especially for complex tasks where expertise is required. Personality traits like openness, conscientiousness, agreeableness, all of these things can affect how team members interact. Teams with that right mix of personalities tend to work more smoothly. And team diversity. A diverse team brings different perspectives, which can lead to better decision making. However, diversity can also create challenges if it's not managed properly. And team size. The size of the team, it matters too. Smaller teams can be more efficient and agile, while larger teams bring more resources, but might struggle with coordination. Now let's identify the types of team diversity and discuss how they influence team functioning. Diversity in teams affects how teams function and perform. And there are 2 key types of diversity. First is surface level diversity. This refers to the visible differences that you can generally see or observe in people, like gender, age, or race. Initially, surface level diversity can create challenges as team members might need time to adjust to those differences. However, it often leads to much richer perspectives and better outcomes in the long run. Next is deep level diversity. These are the less visible differences, things like values, experiences, or beliefs. Deep level diversity influences how team members think and solve problems. Over time, teams with strong, deep level diversity tend to be more innovative and adaptable. Both types of diversity can improve team performance if the team learns to communicate effectively and leverage their differences for better problem solving and creativity. Now, let's examine how team characteristics influence team effectiveness. Team effectiveness is determined by 2 main factors. One is team performance. This is how well the team achieves its goals. High-performing teams usually have good communication, clear roles, and the right mix of abilities. Teams that perform well are aligned around a common goal, they work efficiently, and they produce results. And then there's team viability. This refers to the team's ability to continue working together effectively over time. Teams with high viability are cohesive, they trust one another, and they are likely to work well together on future projects. Characteristics like team cohesion, open communication, and strong leadership, these all contribute to both team performance and viability. A high-functioning team is one that not only meets its goals, but can continue to do so in the future.